Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. I'm your host, Sean Robert Grant, a.k.a. Reverend Sean Robert Grant in the building. Hope you all, tongue-tied, hope all you guys are feeling your absolute best here on this Wednesday afternoon in South Florida, wherever you are, whether it's Wednesday, Thursday. Hope you're doing well. First and foremost, guys, as always, if you have any questions, feedback, comments, correspondence, please write to me at shaung04@gmail.com, seang04@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much in advance. Let's get into today's topic, right? So I advise you, my dears, to go and listen to the past podcasts when you get the opportunity. It's called The Unconventional Actor. And it was probably one of my greater episodes that I have done in a long time. And the reason being is because it took a scope outside of the normal, traditional way of approaching life as an actor and performer. And so it's some really insightful stuff. And I think it's really powerful because, you know, in life, as it relates to everything, there's never just one way to look at things. There's never one way to do something successfully, right? Sometimes our brains can be closed off to the idea that something can be done in absolute multitude, infinite number of ways. But once we open ourselves up to understanding that there is a possible, right? There's more than one possible way to do something. It opens up a whole new world, right? And I explained a lot of how, a lot of my success transpired. And today's message ties into it because I'm going to show you. This is also a bit of a spiritual podcast in a sense, as well as scientific, not so much just about the acting, but at the end of the day, I feel like acting and performing is spiritual in a lot of ways. But I say that because I'm a firm believer in mindset. I'm a firm believer in how we think and how we feel and the type of emotions and beliefs we hold within ourselves. They directly affect how successful or unsuccessful we are, right? And so if we are able to hold a consciousness, hold the successful actor's consciousness, right, within our minds, in our entire beings, things can happen and they can happen easily, right? So, excuse me, I once had a spiritual mentor and he told me something and he said it was so profound. And he said, so you have one or two choices, right? You can do the hard work from a mental, emotional, and spiritual standpoint, or you can do the hard physical work from a material standpoint or a physical standpoint, rather, if you will. And he says you always have those choices, but it's up to you to decide. The universe is not going to block you either way, right? But you always have those choices to decide whether you're going to do the mental, emotional, and spiritual work, or you're going to do the physical work, right? And so I've been in a place where I used to try to do the physical work, and let me tell you, it is arduous. It is sometimes extremely hard. It is long. It is slow. It is dense. It is it is challenging. I'm not saying that you can't be a success doing the hard physical work, but what I'm saying is it might just take a little bit longer, right? And so what is it that this industry, especially as it relates to actors and actresses, has been teaching for a long time is how to do the physical work, right? So you wind up moving to a big market. Let's say you're moving to LA. Instead of somebody saying, okay, 30 days, 60 days before you move to LA, I want you to set an intention and I want you to review that intention for at least 20 to 30 minutes per day. I want you to listen to it and to affirm it and to allow it to be embedded into your subconscious mind before you make that trip to LA, because it's going to set the scene for you from an inner mental state, from an emotional state as well. And by spiritual energy, which is thought in this case, it's going to shape the opportunities that you need to have unfold in order for you to be a success, right? You see how that works? Nobody ever says that, right? People come to LA, and I think this is a big reason why there's a lot of homeless people there, and everywhere at least, but definitely in LA. They tell you, you go to LA where they tell you, okay, get an agent. How challenging is it to get an agent when maybe you don't have any credits in that market? Extraordinarily challenging, right? Go get your headshots, right? Well, you can get headshots, but guess what? Headshots are taking money out of the rent that you can pay. Now, if you can find a good deal and you're in a good financial standing, I think it's absolutely wonderful. But it's taking money away from you, right? Any mental, emotional, and spiritual work you do takes no money, right? Takes no money whatsoever. It is done within you in the space and comfort of your own home or your car or your park or wherever you are. But it does not cost you a thing, right? What else do they tell you? Okay, well, go to these casting workshops, right? Bam, traffic, more money. Once again, long, hard, arduous, physical stuff that doesn't necessarily translate into progress, right? So when I tell you to hold, another thing is it tells, okay, well, go get into a class. Well, classes cost money, right? And when you're trying to plant your feet down into a place, like, it can be difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it can be difficult to just get to somewhere and all of a sudden start shelling out money to stuff that you don't even know is going to work out, right? The only time those things ever work out, the hard physical labor works out, is when the person has the mindset, the inner spiritual life and emotional life to match it. Other than that, it never works out. This is why most people fail as opposed to succeed when they make the trek or the trip to go to Los Angeles to be an actor or performer, because the mindset is not in alignment with all the action that's being taken. So this is why I tell you, if you're going to move somewhere, my first advice would be, okay, set an intention. Set an intention that encompasses everything that you want to see unfold by the time you get there or leading up to that point, right? Give yourself 60 days if you got 60 days. If not, give yourself 30 days. Prime your subconscious mind, prime your inner mindset to allow you to be the success that you're envisioning. And I promise you, how it will unfold will be just like what you set the intention for, right? And guess what? Because mental energy moves faster than physical energy, emotional, spiritual energy moves faster, right? It just vibrates higher, so it moves faster than physical energy. You're going to find things happen a whole lot quicker, right? Than if you were just going through the arduous physical task of doing everything that people have been doing for years at a time without having guaranteed success. The mind made up will guarantee you success unless there's something getting in your way. It will guarantee the exact success you want if you set the intention properly. And if you need some help with that, I could definitely help you out with that. I'll be more than happy to. But the reality is that I think about my mentor again. Are you going to do the mental, emotional, and spiritual work, or are you going to do the physical work, right? And this is the question we have to ask ourselves when we come to a place of doing this, right? And so, let's say you're on a different level of success and you've had some success and you've done well and you're trying to capitalize upon that, but then all of a sudden things start to dry up. So you're asking yourself, okay, why is stuff drying up? Well, easy. Sometimes we can get lucky from a physical standpoint. And what I mean by lucky is just somehow or another our mind aligns with our spirit and our bodies, and we wind up being in the right place at the right time. But then something shifts our mindset, and all of a sudden our success goes away, right? So when that happens, You've got to realign. You've got to shift your mindset to transform your situation. Until you do that, you're going to just find yourself in the same boat over and over and over and over. From experience, this happened to me when I was in LA. I went 1 year without getting anything. And it was because I was trying to use the same old mindset to try to accomplish something new, and it wasn't working. It wasn't until I shifted out of that and shifted my emotions as well as my spiritual development and spiritual growth. It wasn't until I shifted there that I was able to experience new experiences and new opportunities within the industry as an actor. So I say all this to get back to the main point: how to hold a successful actor's consciousness. What does that even look like? What does that feel like? Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like somebody that's not struggling to get work, right? If you feel like you're struggling to get work, you don't have a successful actor's consciousness. You have a struggling actor's consciousness. And that's not personal. That's just the reality of what it is. If you can sit here right now with me and you can say, I expect work to show up for me because I believe that. I have that within me. You have a successful actor's consciousness. Now, here's what some people will tell you that will get in the way. Well, okay, how do you expect to do that? You don't have any credits. Well, how do you expect to do that? You hadn't really been in anything. You've only done this and you only done that. So here's the thing. Those are all mental blockages that this individual holds for themselves, and they're trying to superimpose it upon you. Look, it may not have worked for them, but I promise you it can work for you. And the idea is we get what we believe to be true. And if you believe this to be true, as I'm telling you it is, and as I've seen it happen in my own life, you can succeed on a level beyond anywhere where you could have ever imagined when you believe that you can hold and have a successful actor's consciousness and allow jobs to find you that way, right? I just can't even begin to tell you how many times somebody has messaged me on social media. Somebody has come up to me at a party. Somebody has, sent me a quote unquote random email asking if I'm still acting or and this other stuff, Facebook messages, so many different ways because of me holding that intention, holding that idea that, you know what, I'm a successful actor. This will be easy for me. I will find ways to work because that's what I believe within myself, and it will be easy, right? And it takes all of the hard work, the hard physical work that is, takes it all off the platter, takes it all off the plate. And you're not in this position where you're just running yourself into the ground, right? You're allowing your consciousness, your success consciousness, to work and to magnetize and attract anything and anyone and everything and everyone that you need to be a successful actor. And it comes easily. But the reality is you have to choose and you have to believe, right? If you get caught up in thinking that just because this is what one person believes, no matter how successful they are, and you got to believe that too, you're going to fall victim to their beliefs. But if you decide, you say, you know what, I'm going to be an independent thinker, and I'm going to think and focus for myself, and I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to make this a reality, man, guess what? You're going to succeed because your consciousness is going to allow you to do so. And you'll find you start going on less auditions. Why? Because the consciousness, the mindset winds up bringing people to you who want you for you and who want you to do acting in the way that you do it. So you don't even need to audition necessarily, right? You don't even need to, you find if you need to do audition, you can do at home auditions as opposed to driving for 2 hours in traffic, wherever it is you are, or driving however many miles for traffic. You find that, it's not so much of a, submission. No, they happen to find you because maybe you've got mutual acquaintances, mutual friends, or something like that, it's powerful. It's powerful how it unfolds when you adopt this mindset, when you adopt the ability to hold the successful actor's consciousness. Guys, I can talk about this all day long, but I only got a few minutes, and that is my time. Hope this helped you. I know it did. And thank you guys for joining in all around the world, all over the place. You really made this podcast something else, and we're just going to keep rocking and rolling with it. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. I'll probably be back here tomorrow, but we'll see. Other than that, enjoy your day. Share this podcast with anybody you know that can benefit from it, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.